The boy's hand is sticky with grape juice when he grabs my wrist. "Grandpa, please don't go back home." I'm halfway under the hood of a Subaru, replacing a windshield seal at my shop when Gabe whispers it. 9 years old, his voice cracks like he's already lived through wars I haven't fought yet. The afternoon sun cuts through the garage bay door, throwing shadows across his face. I pull myself out from under the hood, wipe my hands on the shop rag that's been with me longer than most friendships in this town, and look at him hard. "What did you say, buddy?" "Mum's planning something against you and Grandma." His eyes dart to the shop door, like someone might be listening. "I heard her on the phone last night. She said Operation Anchor. She said you have to leave the house. She said it has to happen at Dylan's wedding. In Gulls Hook, Massachusetts, nothing travels faster than wind off the bay except a lie stapled to a church bulletin. This town's got 3 things in abundance: salt air, gossip, and people who think they know your business better than you do. The cannery's been shuttered for 15 years, the VFW hall's seen better decades, and half the storefronts on Main Street have soap-painted windows, promising something new that never comes. But Gabe doesn't lie. Never has. Not when he told me his teacher was drinking in class. Turned out she was. Not when he said his mum's boyfriend was stealing. Turned out he was. The kid's got a radar for wrongness that most adults spend their whole lives trying to ignore. I crouch down, bad knee screaming like it always does when the weather turns. That knee's been talking back to me since my semi-pro boxing days, which ended with a torn meniscus and a wife who made me promise I'd never step in a ring again. Kept that promise for 30 years. Might be time to break it. "You sure about this, Gabe? You know what you're saying?" He nods. Small, tight, terrified. His fingers squeeze my wrist harder. "I heard her say your apartment. She said once you and Grandma aren't living there anymore, they can do the transfer. She said Brooke would handle the public part." Brooke Ashby, my future daughter-in-law. The woman my son Dylan's marrying in 2 days. She runs an influencer brand called Coastal Legacy. All white linen and beach walks, and inspirational quotes about choosing yourself. I've met her exactly 3 times. First time, she looked at my shop like it was a health code violation. Second time, she asked if I'd ever considered selling the property because the location had potential. Third time, she didn't look at me at all. Don't tell me I should have asked more questions. When a kid looks at you like the ground's crumbling under his feet, you move first and ask later. That's not impulsive. That's survival. I stand up, grab my go bag from under the workbench where I've kept it since the separation, and tell Gabe we're taking a ride. He doesn't argue, just follows me to the truck, climbs in the passenger seat, and buckles up like we're heading to get ice cream instead of running from his own mother. My truck's a '98 Ford F-150, rust orange, with a crack in the windshield I've been meaning to fix for 6 months. Tools rattle in the bed. The radio's stuck on the classic rock station. I pull out of the lot and head toward the apartment, calling Marta on the way. She picks up on the 4th ring. "Evan? Pick up your go bag. Meet me at the apartment. Don't ask questions yet." "What happened?" "Gabe says Leah's planning something. Something bad. Something at the wedding." Silence. Then I hear her moving, keys jingling, a door closing. Marta's a nurse. 28 years at Gulls Hook General. She knows how to move fast when it matters. "I'm 10 minutes out," she says. I hang up. Gabe sits beside me, staring at his sneakers, hand-me-downs from some cousin. Leah's always talking about budgets, about making smart choices, about setting Gabe up for success. Turns out success means stealing from your parents. "You did the right thing telling me," I say. He doesn't answer, just keeps staring at those sneakers like they might have different answers than the ones floating around in his head. We hit the long stretch of road that hugs the marsh, where the reeds sway like they're whispering secrets no one wants to hear. The sky's the color of old steel, clouds gathering in a way that makes the gulls quiet. Even the tide looks hesitant. The whole town feels like it's holding its breath. "You hungry?" I ask. He shrugs. There's a diner up ahead. Lula's, the last place in town that serves coffee that tastes like burnt hope and pancakes that taste like childhood. I pull in, park under the flickering neon sign, and look at Gabe. We're not going inside, I say. But I'm not thinking straight on an empty stomach. You want fries? He gives me a tiny nod. I get out, stretch the knee, walk into the diner, and order 2 fries, 2 sodas, and a coffee for myself. Lula's daughter, Casey, is working the counter. She looks at me with that combination of concern and curiosity most people in this town have perfected. You okay, Mr. Price? You look like you just got told the ocean's moving inland. Something like that, I say. She hands me the coffee on the house, because she knows things without asking. Everyone in this town does. They don't always say the right thing, but they know when to stop saying anything at all. Back in the truck, Gabe eats 1 fry at a time like each one is a decision. Finally, he says, I think Mom thinks I'm on her side, because I didn't say anything last night. You scared her? He nods again, but slower this time. She said Grandma shouldn't have signed something. She said you tricked her. She said the house should have gone to her, not you two. Ah, there it is. The thing I didn't want spelled out but knew was coming the moment Gabe said transfer. The house, the old Price house on Harbour Street. It's been in my family since my grandfather built it, after the hurricane of '54. 3 stories, cedar shingle, white trim, porch swing that creaks like it speaks. Every memory worth keeping has a door that swings somewhere inside that house. After the separation, Marta and I kept the apartment above the shop instead. The house stayed in both our names, with the understanding that one day Gabe might inherit it, but apparently Leah, our daughter, has decided she would rather speed up the process, legality and morality optional. I take a long sip of the coffee, feel it burn a path down to my gut. Did she say what happens if we don't leave? I ask. Gabe swallows, eyes glassy now. She said she'd make it happen. She said Brooke knows people who can make things look official. She said no one would believe you two anyway because you're old and stubborn. Old and stubborn, I mutter. Well, she got one of those right. He almost smiles, but it doesn't land. The apartment isn't far, but the drive stretches out like time's mocking me. Every street corner holds some piece of history. My first bike crash, the spot where Marta said yes, the bar where Dylan got in his first fight, and I pretended not to know about it. Now it all looks like a map of mistakes I didn't see coming. When we pull up, Marta's already there. She stands on the curb with her own go bag, hair pulled into a no-nonsense ponytail, still in her scrubs. She looks at me, then at Gabe, then at the bag in my hand. So it's like that, she says. It's like that. We get upstairs, lock the door, and for the first time in a long while, the place feels smaller than it should. Like the walls know something too. Marta kneels in front of Gabe. Did your mum sound angry? Scared? Gabe shakes his head. More like excited, like she already won. Marta stands, jaw tight. She always did mistake victory for entitlement. I sit on the edge of the couch, rub the bad knee, and look at the two of them, my grandson, my almost ex-wife, and realize we're not just reacting anymore. We're preparing. What do you want to do? Marta asks me. I want to know exactly what they're planning, and then I want to decide if we burn the plan down or walk right into it on our own terms. And the wedding? She asks. Oh, we're going, I say. If they're staging something, I want front row seats. Gabe looks up, voice so small I almost miss it. Am I in trouble for telling you? I reach over, pull him in. Kid, you're the only one in this family who did the right thing. Outside, a gull screeches like a warning nobody understands until it's too late. The wind shifts, storm coming, but storms have never scared me. It's the people who stand smiling in the calm before them that make my hands ball into fists. And this time, I'm not stepping out of the ring. While you're here, hit the hype button, don't forget to subscribe, and support this channel with a like. And tell us below, Have you ever faced something like this? Marta shows up at the apartment before I do. She's standing in the parking lot, arms crossed, go bag at her feet, looking like she's ready to either fight someone or pack for a month. We've been separated 3 years, technically still married, living apart because we needed space, but never enough anger to actually divorce. She kept the house. I took the apartment. Seemed fair at the time. Now I'm realizing nothing about this family's been fair for a while. Inside, I say, unlocking the door. The apartment's small. 1 bedroom, kitchenette, bathroom with a shower that drips. I've lived here alone since the separation, cooking eggs on a hot plate, watching late-night TV, fixing cars during the day, and trying not to think too hard about how I ended up 56 years old and sleeping on a mattress that sags in the middle. But it's mine, my name on the lease, my furniture, my space. Except now, everything feels wrong. Not obviously wrong. Not like someone ransacked the place. Wrong in the way a room feels when someone's been through your drawers, touched your things, moved them back almost right but not quite. The mail's been sorted. The spare key hook by the door is empty, and taped to the fridge, there's a notice I've never seen before. Marta rips it down. Maintenance inspection scheduled for November 5th. Tenant presence not required. I never got this. Check the lease. I keep the lease agreement in a folder by the microwave, along with utility bills and the phone number for the landlord, Jerry Pulaski, who owns half the rentals in Gull's Hook and golfs twice a week at the municipal course. I pull out the folder, flip through. There's the lease. Month to month. Signed 2 years ago. But stapled to the back, there's a new page I've never seen. Marta reads it out loud. Tenant may transfer lease to immediate family for elder care purposes upon notarization and landlord approval. Who the hell approved this? She flips the page. At the bottom, stapled with one of those heavy-duty staplers that means business, is a photocopy of a notarized document. My signature at the bottom. Except it's not my signature. It's close. Real close. Same slant, same general shape. But the E loops wrong. I always loop it tight, counterclockwise. This one's loose, clockwise. Someone traced it, maybe practiced it, got it 90% right and figured that's good enough. They forged it, Marta says. Yeah. Gabe's standing in the doorway watching us. His face is pale. I'm sorry, Grandpa. Not your fault, kid. You did good telling me. I pull out my phone, take pictures, the notice, the forged document, the empty key hook, the whole apartment. I'm methodical about it. Wide shots, close-ups, timestamps visible. Then I open my laptop, change my bank passwords, put a credit freeze on my credit report through all 3 bureaus. No drama, no yelling, just cold, efficient moves. Because if they're coming for the apartment, they're coming for everything. Marta watches me. What are you doing? Locking the doors before they kick them in. I call Jerry Pulaski. It goes to voicemail. I leave a message, keep my voice calm. Hey Jerry, it's Evan Harlow. Apartment 2B. Someone's trying to forge a lease transfer in my name. I've got documentation. Call me back. I'm filing a police report today. Then I look at Marta. They're doing this at the wedding, in front of everyone. Why? Because Brooke wants a show. She's built her whole brand on family legacy, reclaiming roots, honoring the past. What's better content than the groom's father handing over the keys to the old generation in front of 200 witnesses? Marta sits down on the couch. Dylan knows about this? Has to. He's marrying her. And Leah? Gabe heard her on the phone. She's in it up to her neck. Marta closes her eyes. When she opens them, there's something sharp in her face I haven't seen in years. What are we going to do? I pull out the whiteboard I keep in the closet for job estimates, drag it into the living room, and draw 3 columns with a dry erase marker. Social, legal, physical. We're going to ruin them, I say, but we're going to do it right. No murder, no prison time for the kids, Just consequences. Public, legal, painful consequences. Marta stares at the board. You're serious? They forged my signature. They're trying to steal my home. They're doing it at Dylan's wedding for content. Yeah, I'm serious. I write names under each column. Social, Brooke. Dylan, Pastor Emery. Legal, Leah. Jerry Pulaski. VFW contract. Physical, anyone who tries to take what's mine by force. You're going to fight all of them. I'm going to make them confess, in front of the same people who'll watch Brooke humiliate me in 2 days. I call Red Malloy. Red's my age, ex-army, owns a security company that installs cameras and alarm systems for half the businesses in Gull's Hook. We used to spar together back when I was boxing semi-pro, and he was training for Golden Gloves. He's got a scar over his left eye from a fight in Lowell, and a handshake that could crack walnuts. Red, I need help, legal help, and maybe some muscle if things get messy. What kind of messy? His voice is gravelly, amused. The kind where I don't throw the first punch, but I sure as hell throw the last. Red laughs. It's a sound like rocks tumbling in a dryer. I'm in. What do you need? Cameras. At the shop and here at the apartment. I need to know who's coming and going. And I need to know it's all legal. Recorded with consent where required. Admissible. I can do that. When? Today. I'll be there in an hour. Next, I call Rishi Patel. Rishi's an attorney who brings his Lexus to the shop every 6 months for windshield treatments. He's straight as a ruler. Yale Law. Moved back to Gull's Hook to take care of his parents and ended up staying. He likes things clean, filed, documented. Rishi, I need to know what I can do without crossing any lines. What kind of lines? He sounds cautious. The kind that end with me in jail. He sighs. Come to my office tomorrow morning. Bring everything. Everything? Every document, every photo, every piece of evidence. If we're doing this, we're doing it right. That night, Marta stays at the apartment. Gabe sleeps on the couch. I stay up late, going through paperwork, building timelines, making lists. Around midnight, Marta's phone buzzes. She checks it, frowns, shows me the screen. It's a text from Dottie, the VFW manager. Dottie's been running that hall for 20 years, knows every event, every scandal, every secret that gets whispered over rubber chicken dinners. The text is just a link. I open it. Give Up the Keys is trending on Instagram. 4,000 posts, all of them screenshots from Brooke's account. She posted a picture of a keychain with a sailboat charm. Caption, sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go, honoring the past by making space for the future. 2 days until we begin our legacy. The comments are full of heart emojis and praise. So brave, so mature. Family first. I show Marta. She reads it, face darkening. She's framing this as her idea, like she's the hero. That's exactly what she's doing. What are you going to do? I'm going to let her have her moment, and then I'm going to take it back. 2 days later, the VFW hall buzzes like a hornet's nest someone kicked open and then decorated with white tulle. White chairs arranged in rows, string lights crisscrossing the ceiling. A banner stretched across the back wall that says, Dylan and Brooke, a legacy begins in gold script. There's a photo booth in the corner with props, a dessert table with a 3-tier cake, and a bar serving craft beer from a local brewery Brooke partnered with for content. Brooke's photographer circles the room, a guy in black with 2 cameras around his neck, snapping candids of guests as they arrive. Pastor Emery stands near the punch bowl in his formal robes, shaking hands, laughing at jokes, performing the role of community pillar he's perfected over 30 years. Dottie pours champagne at the bar, muttering under her breath about how the bride changed the drink menu 3 times and still hasn't paid the full deposit. I sit in the back row, 3 seats from the aisle. Evan Harlow, father of the groom, wearing the only suit I own, a grey number I bought for my own wedding 32 years ago. It still fits, mostly. The tie's a clip-on, Because I never learned to tie a real one, and I'm too old to start now. Marta's sitting 3 seats down from me on the other side. We agreed on this, separate but present, not making a scene, not giving Brooke any ammunition before she pulls her stunt. Gabe's up front with Leah. She's wearing a blue dress, hair perfect, smiling at people like she's not actively planning to rob her own parents. She keeps glancing back at us, that smile tight, nervous. She knows we know. Gabe must have told her, but she's committed now, can't back out, not with 200 people watching. Dylan looks good in his suit, tall, clean-shaven, hair gelled back, the kind of guy who sells people things they don't need and makes them thank him for the opportunity. He works in sales, some tech startup out of Boston, always talking about disruption and market penetration and scaling up. He's got his father's build, his mother's eyes, and a smile that used to mean something before it became a tool. Brooke's in white lace, a dress that probably cost more than my truck, her hair perfect, her smile wide and camera ready. Her father isn't here, no one mentions it. She's built her brand on being the girl who chose herself after a toxic childhood. She's never posted about him, never mentioned him, erased him from her narrative like he's a typo in an otherwise perfect story. The ceremony starts. Music plays. People stand. Brooke walks down the aisle alone, no father to give her away, because she gave him away years ago. The ceremony's short. Vows that sound like they came from Pinterest. Rings, a kiss, applause, flashbulbs. Then the reception starts. People eat, drink, dance. The photographer circulates. Brooke poses with bridesmaids, with Dylan's groomsmen, with random guests who want a picture with the influencer bride. She's in her element. This is her content, her brand, her moment. At 7:00 p.m., exactly on schedule according to the printed program on every chair, Brooke taps a champagne glass with a fork. The room quiets. Conversations stop. People turn. Phones come out. Someone near the front starts a live stream. Brooke stands, microphone in hand, glowing under the string lights. Thank you all so much for being here to celebrate this beautiful day with us. Dylan and I are so grateful for every single person in this room. She pauses, lets the moment breathe, camera-ready smile in place. But today isn't just about us. It's about family. It's about honoring the people who built the foundation we stand on. It's about legacy. She looks directly at me. Evan, could you come up here, please? I don't move. My hand tightens on the chair. The room's watching. Evan? Brooke's smile doesn't waver. She's good at this. We have something special planned. The crowd starts clapping, slowly, encouragingly, like I'm a kid being coaxed on stage for a school play. I stand, walk to the front, each step measured. My bad knee drags just enough for people to notice. Old man limping to his own humiliation. Dylan's at the altar, hands in his pockets, trying to look casual. Pastor Emery's beside him, face unreadable. Brooke hands me the microphone. The thing's warm from her hand. She pulls out a small wooden bowl from behind the podium. Inside, keys. Evan, Dylan and I have been talking a lot about family, about responsibility, about making sure the people we love are taken care of. Her voice is honey-sweet, practiced. We know how hard it's been, living in that apartment by yourself since the separation. We know it's not easy getting older, dealing with maintenance, worrying about finances. The room's silent, 200 people watching. So we've arranged for you to transition into a care community, a beautiful place, right here in Gull's Hook, assisted living with full support staff, activities, everything you need. And all we need to make this happen, to start this beautiful new chapter, is for you to hand over your apartment keys so we can begin the transition process. She holds out the bowl, smiling, cameras flashing. The live stream's got 300 viewers now. I look at the bowl, then at Brooke, then at Dylan. No, Brooke blinks. I'm sorry. I said no. Her smile cracks, just a little. Evan, this is for your own good. You're not getting any younger. We've already spoken to the landlord, to the care facility. We've done all the paperwork. You forged my signature. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Phones come up. The live stream viewer count jumps to 500. Brooke's face flushes. That's not... You forged a lease transfer document. You planned this whole ceremony without asking me. You're trying to steal my home. Dylan steps forward. Dad, don't do this here. Don't do what? Tell the truth. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm embarrassing you. There's a difference. Brooke's voice rises. We're trying to help you. By stealing my home, by forging legal documents, by turning my life into content for your Instagram. She slaps me. The sound cracks through the hall like a gunshot. My head snaps to the side. Her ring catches my lip. The room erupts, gasps, shouts. Someone screams. The live stream's at 800 viewers. I don't flinch. Don't raise a hand. Don't give her anything to use against me later. Just stand there, bleeding from the lip, looking at her. That's the last free thing you'll ever get from me. I take the microphone back, pull out my phone, dial a number I programmed 2 days ago. Put it on speaker. It rings twice. Hello? A man's voice. Rough, uncertain. Mr. Ashby, it's Evan Harlow. You said you wanted to make things right with your daughter. Now's your chance. I'm at the VFW hall, Dylan and Brooke's wedding. You should come. Dad? I'm 20 minutes away, the voice says. I hang up. Brooke's shaking. What did you do? I invited your father to your wedding. You had no right. You had no right to forge my signature, but here we are. The room's in chaos now. People talking over each other, phones everywhere. The live stream's at 1,200 viewers. Pastor Emery tries to take the microphone. I hand it to him. Walk back to my seat. Marta's eyes are wide. What did you just do? Open the door. Now we see who walks through. 23 minutes later, a man walks into the VFW hall. He's in his 50s, grey hair, flannel shirt tucked into jeans, work boots. He looks like he hasn't slept well in years. His hands shake as he pushes open the door. The room goes quiet. Brooke sees him and freezes. Dad? Tom Ashby stands in the doorway, looking at his daughter like she's a lighthouse, and he's been lost at sea for decades, which, according to the research I did over the past 2 days, isn't far from the truth. Tom Ashby, recovering alcoholic. 12 years sober, not 3 like I told Brooke. Used to work at the cannery before it closed. Divorced when Brooke was 8. Drinking got bad after the layoffs. Lost custody. Disappeared into a bottle for years. Got sober in his 40s. Been trying to reconnect with Brooke ever since. She's blocked him on everything, changed her name on social media, built her brand on being the girl who rose above a difficult childhood without ever specifying details. He walks down the aisle. People part for him. It's biblical, the way the crowd splits. Pastor Emery tries to intercept him, but Tom keeps walking, keeps his eyes on Brooke. Brooke, I'm sorry. His voice cracks. The mic picks it up. 1,500 viewers on the live stream now. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry I drank. I'm sorry I hurt you and your mum. I'm sorry for all of it. Brooke's shaking. Get out. I've been sober 12 years. I've been trying to reach you. Get out. I just wanted to tell you I'm proud of you. I see what you've built. I see the life you've made. And I know I don't have any right to be here, but... You don't. But I'm your father. The room's crying. Actually crying. Bridesmaids, groomsmen, random guests, all of them watching this raw, unscripted moment that's so much more real than anything Brooke's ever posted. Redemption arc playing out live. The prodigal father returns. Brooke's brand is cracking in real time. She's built herself as the strong woman who doesn't need anyone, who chose herself, who cut out toxicity. And here's her father, sober, humble, apologizing in front of everyone. If she forgives him, she's weak. If she rejects him, she's cruel. Either way, she loses. Pastor Emery takes Tom's arm gently. Perhaps we should talk privately. No. Tom pulls away. I came here because Mr. Harlow called me. He said my daughter needed to see that people can change. That forgiveness is possible. I don't know what's happening here, but I know I owe her an apology. And I'm giving it, publicly, like I should have done years ago. He turns to the crowd. I was a terrible father. I drank. I missed birthdays. I missed everything. And Brooke had every right to cut me out. But I've changed. And if there's anyone in this room who thinks people can't change, who thinks the past defines the future, I'm here to tell you that's not true. He looks back at Brooke. I love you. I've always loved you. And I'm sorry. The room erupts in applause. It's not for Brooke, it's for Tom. The broken father who found redemption. Brooke's trapped. If she kicks him out now, she's the villain. She looks at Dylan. He's frozen. Looks at Pastor Emery. He's crying. Looks at me. I'm smiling. Not gloating. Just the smallest smile. The kind that says, this is what you get for trying to humiliate me. She runs. Out the side door. Bridesmaids follow. The photographer's still shooting. Live streams at 2,000 viewers. Dylan stands at the altar, alone, watching his wedding implode. I walk out. Marta follows. We get in my truck, drive back to the apartment. That was brutal, Marta says. That was one. Back at the shop, I stand in front of the whiteboard. Marta and Gabe are there. Red shows up with coffee and donuts. Rishi arrives with a briefcase full of legal pads. Okay, I say. Here's where we are. I point to the board. Social, Brooke's brand is damaged. Our Give Up the Keys is now flooded with people arguing about elder abuse. Tom Ashby's apology video has been clipped and shared 17,000 times. Legal. I've got the forged lease transfer. I've got photos of the fake maintenance notice. I've got documentation that they planned this without my consent. Physical. No one's tried anything yet, but they will. What's the goal? Rishi asks. Public confession. From all of them. Brooke, Dylan, Leah. I want them to admit what they did in front of the same people who watched her slap me. That's not a legal goal, Rishi says. Then what is? Protecting your assets, preventing the lease transfer, filing a restraining order if necessary. Maybe a civil suit for emotional distress, fraud, forgery. How long does that take? Months, maybe a year. I don't have a year. I've got momentum right now. The town's watching. If I wait, they'll spin the narrative. Brooke will post some tearful apology about boundaries. Leah'll say she was just trying to help. Dylan will say, I'm a bitter old man who can't let go. I need to move fast. Red leans back in his chair. What do you need from me? Cameras are installed. Shop, apartment, your truck, all recording, all legal. Signs posted about surveillance. Good. Now I need you to map the town. Where are the public cameras? Traffic lights, storefronts, the harbour, the VFW, everywhere. Why? Because if they come after me, I want evidence, and I want to know where I'm safe. Rishi makes a note. I can file a police report about the forgery. That creates an official record. Do it. And I can send a cease and desist letter to Brooke, Dylan, and Leah, officially informing them that any further contact regarding your lease or assets will be considered harassment. Do that too. Marta speaks up. What about Gabe? We all look at him. He's sitting in the corner, eating a donut, listening. Gabe's the reason we know any of this, I say. He's not in trouble, but we need to keep him safe. Safe from what? Marta asks. From Leah using him as leverage. Rishi nods. If Leah tries to restrict your access to Gabe, we can file for grandparent visitation rights. It's not guaranteed, but given the circumstances, we'd have a case. File it. Evan, Marta starts. She used him. She coached him to spy, to report back, to help her steal from us. I'm not letting her use him again. Marta's quiet, then she nods. What else? Red asks. I point to the board. VFW contract. Brooke signed a rental agreement. I want a copy. Why? Because I bet there's something in there she violated. And if there is, I can use it. Rishi makes another note. I'll request it through public records. Might take a few days. We've got time. The wedding's over. Now we wait for them to make the next move. The next day, the storm hits. Brooke posts a statement on Instagram. A photo of her and Dylan, sitting on a beach at sunset holding hands. The caption's long. Yesterday was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Instead, it became a day of deep pain and reflection. Family is complicated. Forgiveness is complicated. Boundaries are complicated. I've spent years building a life based on honoring my truth and protecting my peace. Yesterday, someone I trusted weaponized my past against me. Brought my estranged father to my wedding without my consent. Turned what should have been a private family matter into a public spectacle. I'm still processing. I'm still healing. But I want to be clear, I will not apologize for setting boundaries. I will not apologize for protecting myself. And I will not be bullied into reconciliation. Thank you to everyone who has reached out with love and support. I see you, I hear you, and I'm grateful. 20,000 likes in an hour. Comments full of support. You're so strong. Boundaries are brave. That man had no right. Elder manipulation is real. Dylan posts too. A photo of him and Brooke. Same beach, same sunset, different angle. Standing with my wife. Always. Simple, effective, performative. Leah doesn't post, but she texts me. We need to talk. I don't respond. That afternoon, Dottie calls. You need to see this. She sends me a link. It's a Facebook group called Gulls Hook Community Forum. 3,000 members. Someone posted a poll. Should Evan Harlow have brought Tom Ashby to the wedding? Yes, 47%, no, 53%. The comments are a war zone. He ambushed her on her wedding day. Unforgivable. She was trying to steal his house. He defended himself. Both things can be wrong. Elder abuse is serious. He had every right. Weaponizing someone's trauma is abuse too. On and on. The town split. And that's exactly what I need. Rishi calls. The VFW contract came through. You were right. About what? There's an addendum, signed by Brooke. It authorizes a special program, transfer of symbolic keys for family legacy ceremony. And there's a clause. The VFW's insurance rider requires that all programs be non-coercive and free of public humiliation. If a program violates that, the rental agreement is voided and the deposit is forfeited. She violated it. She did. You've got 50 witnesses who saw her demand your keys and slap you when you refused. Can I use this? I can file a complaint with the VFW board. They'll investigate. If they find a violation, Brooke loses the deposit, $5,000, and it becomes public record. Do it. That night, I record a video. One take, no script. Just me in the shop, greasy hands, tired eyes, sitting on a stool with tools hanging on the wall behind me. My name's Evan Harlow. Some of you know me, some of you don't. 2 days ago, my future daughter-in-law slapped me at my son's wedding because I wouldn't hand over my apartment keys. She and my daughter planned to force me into elder care without my consent. They forged my signature on legal documents. They did it in front of 200 people, thinking the crowd would pressure me into compliance. I called Brooke's estranged father to the wedding because I believed she needed to see that people can change, that forgiveness is possible. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was cruel. I don't know. But I do know this. I will not be bullied. I will not hand over my home. And I will not apologize for defending myself. If anyone in this town has information about the condo board meetings, the VFW contract, the lease transfer, or anything else related to this, please reach out. I'm not going away. I post it to the Gulls Hook Community Forum, to Facebook, to YouTube, everywhere I can think of. Within 2 hours, It has 30,000 views. Brooke's followers start showing up in the comments, attacking me, calling me manipulative, abusive, a bitter old man. But Gull's hook people show up too, defending me, sharing their own stories of elder abuse, of family betrayal, of kids who tried to take advantage. The war's public now, and I'm not losing. Over the next 3 days, I become a detective. I pull property records from the town clerk's office, condo board minutes from the building Dylan and Brooke want to move into, visiting nurse logs from when Marta's insurance sent someone to check on me last year after I had the flu. Leah's agency's ethics policy, publicly available on their website. No hacking, no magic, just paper. I find the condo board minutes from April. Leah's name is in there. She attended a meeting, presented a proposal about intergenerational housing solutions and legacy unit transitions. The language is careful, sanitized, but the meaning's clear. Get old people out, young people in, flip the units, raise the property value. I screenshot it, add it to the file. I find the visiting nurse log. The nurse noted, patient alert, ambulatory, independent, no signs of cognitive decline, apartment clean and well-maintained. Patient expressed frustration with family dynamics, but declined further discussion. That was 6 months ago, before the wedding, before Operation Anchor. Proof I didn't need help then. Don't need it now. I find Leah's agency ethics policy. Section 4.2. Employees shall not use their position, authority, or access to agency resources to influence personal family matters, housing decisions, or financial arrangements outside the scope of client services. She violated it, used her job to pressure me to create a paper trail that made it look like I needed care. I screenshot it all, print it, build a binder 3 inches thick. Red helps me canvass vendors. We start with the florist. Her name's Margaret. She runs a shop on Main Street, been there 30 years. I walk in with Red, who's big enough to make people nervous but polite enough to put them at ease. Margaret, I need to ask you about the wedding. She looks nervous. I don't want to get involved. I'm not asking you to lie. I'm asking you to tell the truth. Did Brooke pay you in full? Margaret hesitates, then shakes her head. She promised exposure, said her brand had a charity partnership angle and that would count as payment. But when I asked for the charity's contact information, she kept putting me off. Do you have that in writing? She pulls out her phone, shows me an email chain, Brooke promising exposure compensation and charity partnership credits. The charity's name is there, Coastal Hope Initiative. I looked them up, Margaret says. They exist, but when I called, they said they'd never heard of Brooke Ashby. Can I have a copy of this? If it helps me get paid, yes. Red photographs the email chain. We thank Margaret. Move on to the caterer. Same story. Brooke promised exposure, mentioned charity partnership, never delivered. The caterer's out $800. The DJ, same thing. The cake maker, same thing. By the end of the day, we've got statements from 6 vendors, all of them screwed by Brooke's charity partnership scam. Rishi reviews everything. This is fraud. Can we use it? It's complicated. The vendors would have to file complaints. It's a civil matter, not criminal, but it's damaging, especially combined with everything else. What about the VFW? The VFW complaint is solid. I filed it yesterday. The board's meeting next week to review. Good. That night, Leah shows up at the shop, alone. No Gabe. She walks in, face pale, hands shaking. We need to talk. I don't stop working. I'm replacing a windshield on a Honda Civic, measuring the seal, checking the fit. About what? About you tearing this family apart. I didn't forge documents. You're hurting Gabe. He's scared. He doesn't understand what's happening. He understands his mother tried to rob his grandparents. That's not what happened. Then tell me what happened. She's quiet. Then she pulls out her phone, opens her photos. Shows me a screenshot. It's a group chat. Her, Dylan, Brooke. The name of the chat, Operation Anchor. I read the messages. Leah. Mom and Dad's finances are tight. If we can consolidate housing, Gabe gets stability. Dylan. Brooke's handling the public piece. VFW ceremony, big moment. Brooke. I'll make it about legacy, about honoring them. They'll say yes. Leah. And if they don't? Brooke. Then we have the forged transfer as backup. Jerry approved it. Dylan. Dad won't fight in public. He'll fold. I look up at Leah. You were going to force us out. We were going to help you. By stealing our homes. By giving Gabe a future. She's crying now. Real tears. Not performative. She actually believes this. You're getting older. Mum's getting older. Medical bills are coming. We can't afford to support 3 households. If we combine, everyone benefits. Gabe gets stability. You and Mum get care. We all stay together. You didn't ask. You would have said no. Exactly. I set down my tools, walk over to her, hand her a printed timeline. It tracks every meeting she attended, every email she sent, every time she used her job's resources to build a case that I needed care, every lie she told. You weaponized your job. You violated ethics policies. You coached Gabe to spy on us. You forged documents. You planned a public humiliation. All because you decided, without asking, that you knew what was best for us. Leah stares at the timeline. Her hands shake harder. I was doing it for him. You were doing it for control. That's not fair. Neither is what you did to me. I slide a single sheet of paper across the workbench. You have one choice. Tell the truth publicly, or I file a formal complaint with your employer. Your call. She grabs the paper, reads it. It's a draft ethics complaint. Detailed, documented, ready to file. You wouldn't. Try me. She looks at me like she's seeing a stranger. Maybe she is. Maybe I am one now. She walks out without another word. 2 days later, Dylan corners me in a parking garage. It's late. I'm coming back from Rishi's office, carrying a briefcase full of documents. The garage is 3 levels underground, dim lights, oil stains on the concrete. My truck's parked in the far corner. Smells like rust, rubber, and old arguments. I hear footsteps behind me. Fast, angry, the kind of stride someone takes when they've already rehearsed the confrontation in their head and can't wait to deliver the lines. I turn around. Dylan's there. He's in a suit, no tie, sleeves rolled up like he's about to paint a house or punch a wall. His face is red, a color between fury and shame. Eyes glossy, not from tears, but from the pressure of holding everything in until he can find the right target. We need to talk, he says, chest heaving. Go ahead. You're ruining everything. I'm defending myself. His jaw twitches. You ambushed Brooke. You brought her father to humiliate her. I brought him to show her people can change. Apparently that's offensive now. Dylan steps closer, finger aimed at my chest like he's deputized by some higher moral authority. You're a bitter old man who can't stand seeing his kids succeed. Your success is built on forging my signature, I say, calm but sharp enough to cut through whatever fiction he's been living in. He doesn't argue. He swings. I see it coming. He telegraphs the punch like he's throwing a baseball pitch. I block with my forearm. The punch glances off, still hurts, shockwaves up the bone, but nothing I can't handle. He swings again, wild, sloppy. I sidestep, bad knee screaming, and grab his wrist. Twist. Use the car door behind him to pin his arm. Slam it shut on his hand. Not hard enough to break anything, just hard enough to make a point. Dylan yelps. High-pitched, not the sound of a man, but of a boy old enough to know better and too old to excuse himself. I grab his collar, knee him in the ribs, quick, controlled. Old training whispering through muscle memory. He goes down like a marionette with cut strings. He's on the ground, gasping, hand cradled against his chest like I'm the one who betrayed him. I stand over him, adrenaline steady and cold. Stay down. I'll sue you, he wheezes. Go ahead, I say. I already called 911, reported a disturbance, told them my son attacked me in a parking garage. They'll be here in 2 minutes. You swung first. The evidence is on my body. I hold up my forearm, already bruising where his first punch landed, purple blooming under the skin like an unwanted signature. Dylan's face twists, not in pain, he can handle pain, but in the realization that the version of the story he planned to tell just died on the pavement. You planned this? I defended myself. There's a difference. He tries to stand, fails. The anger drains out of him for a moment, replaced by something quieter, more dangerous, resentment settling into the bones. 2 minutes later, sirens wail. The echo ricochets through the concrete levels like a warning bell for a ship already taking on water. Cops show up. 2 officers, mid-30s, professional, walking with the kind of speed that says they've seen this movie before. I show them my ID, explain calmly. My son attacked me. I defended myself, no weapons. He's not seriously hurt. I'm willing to press charges if necessary. Dylan's still on the ground, trying to look injured instead of implicated. He attacked me. One cop looks at him. Really looks. You've got no marks on you except where he restrained you. He's got bruises on his arm from blocking your punch. You want to stick with that story? Dylan goes quiet. He's smart enough to know pushing it further means handcuffs and a mugshot before dessert. They check the scene, take statements, shine a flashlight on my arm. One of them mutters, textbook defensive bruise. They turn back to Dylan. You're lucky he didn't press charges. If we get called here again, you're going in. No warnings. Dylan doesn't thank them, just stares at the ground like it betrayed him. They let us both go. I pick up the briefcase, get in my truck, and drive away. Hands steady on the wheel. No triumph. Just a hollow ache for a son who chose a battlefield instead of a conversation. Red calls 10 minutes later. Red, who runs security for half the town and the good gossip for the other half. I saw the whole thing on the garage camera, he says. Good? Crystal clear. Dylan swung first. You defended yourself. It's all there if you need it. I need it. Thought so. Want a copy tonight or in the morning? Tonight, I say. Send one to my lawyer, too. Already did. You raised me to anticipate. I almost smile. Almost. The bruise throbs under the skin, but that's not what hurts. What hurts is knowing my own son turned himself into a weapon, and someone else sharpened him. Someone who thinks families are just leverage with last names. The garage is dark. The wind outside smells like incoming rain and ending patience. I stare at the bruise and think, this wasn't the real fight. This was just the warning shot. And now I know exactly how far they're willing to go, which means I finally know how far I have to. 3 days later, Leah shows up at the shop again. This time she's got her phone in her hand and a look on her face like someone who's been awake for 3 days straight. I'll tell the truth. I look up from the brake job I'm working on. On camera? Yes. Why? Because I can't sleep. Because Gabe won't talk to me. Because you're going to file that complaint and I'll lose my job. Because I thought I was helping and maybe I was wrong. Maybe? Fine. I was wrong. Is that what you want to hear? I want the truth. She sets up her phone, records herself. One take. My name is Leah Harlow. I orchestrated the plan to move my parents into elder care. I didn't do it for money. I did it because I thought it would give my son stability. I thought if we combined households, Gabe would have a future. I'd keep guardianship if my mum left. I used my job's resources to build a case that my father needed care when he didn't. I coached my son to report back to me. I attended condo board meetings. I worked with my brother and his fiancée to plan the key ceremony at the wedding. I lied to my father. I violated my agency's ethics policies. I thought I was protecting my family, but I was wrong. I'm sorry. She stops recording, sends it to me. There. Are you happy? No, but I'll use it. What does that mean? It means this goes public when I say it does, not before. You're going to blackmail me with it. I'm going to use it to make you tell the truth, in front of everyone, when it matters. She stares at me. You've changed. You tried to steal my home. That changes people. She leaves, doesn't slam the door, just walks out quiet, like someone leaving a funeral. Rishi files 2 formal complaints the next day. First, breach of contract with the VFV, naming Brooke. The complaint cites the insurance rider, the key ceremony, the public coercion, the slap. It requests that the rental agreement be voided and the deposit forfeited, $5,000. Public record, no backroom letters, no quiet settlements, filed with the state database so anyone with a browser and curiosity can pull it up and see exactly what happened and why. Second, ethics review with Leah's employer. The complaint cites her attendance at condo board meetings, her use of agency resources for personal housing decisions, her violation of Section 4.2 of the ethics policy, conflict of interest, misuse of authority, conduct unbecoming. Not a crime, not handcuffs and a mugshot, but enough to force the board to open a file, assign an investigator, schedule an interview, and put a neat, ugly asterisk beside her name in the HR ledger. Enough to trigger a formal review, possible suspension, possible termination. Both complaints are filed through proper channels, clean, legal, airtight. Rishi is good at airtight. He moves like a man trained to fill every crack before a storm finds it. Within a week, consequences start falling. The VFV board announces they're conducting an internal review. Not the kind they bury. The public kind. The kind with meeting minutes, timestamps, and a line at the bottom that says subject to public inspection. Brooke's deposit is frozen pending investigation. Her contract status updated from active to contested. That word alone is a financial ghost. They see it, the vendors see it, the banks see it, and suddenly, no one wants to be within 10 feet of her name. Leah receives a formal review notice from her employer. Certified mail. Signature required. She signs for it, then probably tears into it standing in her bathrobe at the door. She's placed on administrative leave. Not fired, but not working either. No access to her work email, no case files, no meetings. Her badge deactivated. Her keycard doesn't beep anymore when she tries to swipe into the building. HR speak for, you're no longer trusted. Brooke's vendor contracts start falling apart. The florist posts on social media about unpaid invoices. A photo of 300 white peonies sitting in a walk-in freezer, captioned, "We love our clients, but we also love getting paid." The caterer does the same. Screenshots of unanswered emails, polite reminders turning into overdue notices. The charity Brooke claimed to be partnering with issues a public statement saying they've never worked with her, never heard of her, never agreed to attend any event she promoted. Coastal Legacy starts trending for the wrong reasons. Not sunsets and linen dresses anymore. Screenshots of lawsuits, question marks, people reposting that clip of the slap at the key ceremony. Someone isolates the audio, slows it down, captions it, turns it into a meme. I Said Sign It becomes a TikTok sound set to videos of people wrestling raccoons out of trash cans. Brooke posts a tearful video. Sitting on her couch, no makeup, messy hair, the kind of deliberately unpolished look influencers use when they want to be relatable in crisis. The ring light is still on, though. The lighting is still soft. She knows what she's doing. "I'm being attacked," she says. "I'm being harassed. I made a mistake trying to help family, and now my life is being torn apart. This has to stop." The comments are split. Half supportive. "Stay strong, queen." "Haters gonna hate." People just jealous. The other half is a pile-on of invoices, screenshots, links to the public complaint. Pay your vendors. Why did you forge a signature? Is crying part of your brand strategy or just a hobby? Dylan doesn't post anything. Goes dark. No stories, no reels, no fitness updates, no weekend with the boys. His last post is still the one of him holding Gabe at the beach, both smiling. Comments locked now. Probably the first thing his PR friend told him to do. Pastor Emery calls me. Old pastor voice, warm and heavy like a quilt that's been washed too many times, but still does its job. Evan, please. The town needs to heal. The healing starts when they tell the truth, Pastor. This is tearing families apart. They tore it apart when they forged my signature. I'm just making sure everyone knows. He sighs. That pastoral sigh. The one that says he wishes he could shepherd wolves into sheep without losing a hand. There's a Harbour Lights parade next week. The whole town will be there. Can we at least have one event without drama? That depends on them, not me. I hang up. For a minute I just sit there, listening to the dial tone in my head, thinking about how many people mistake silence for peace. It's not. Silence is just the part before the verdict. And the thing about parades? Everybody shows up. And when everybody shows up, truth has a way of taking the mic whether it was invited or not. Later that night, Marta calls. You saw the florist post? She asks. I did. She spelled Brooke's name wrong on purpose, called her Broke Ashby. That's cruel, I say. It's accurate, she replies. We're quiet, not the awkward kind, just the kind that means we both know we crossed a point we can't go back from. This was never going to stay private, and the people who lit the fire are the ones complaining about the smoke. Gabe texts me from Leah's house. Mom's upset. Keeps saying she'll fix everything. Keeps saying you don't understand. I stare at the screen for a long time before answering. I understand more than she thinks. 3 dots appear, disappear, reappear. Then, I believe you. It's a small sentence, but it lands like a sandbag on the heart. I walk out to the shop, sit on the tailgate of the truck, and let the night settle. Somewhere downtown, someone is printing more parade flyers. Somewhere in Leah's house, a woman who used to call me Dad is pacing in the dark, rehearsing explanations that won't save her. Somewhere, a boy who didn't ask for any of this is hearing every phone call through thin walls. The wind shifts, smells like salt and wood smoke. I can almost hear gulls even though it's too dark for them to fly. The funny thing about public consequences, they look sudden. They aren't. They're a slow drip that finally reaches the point someone notices the floor is flooded. And next week, in front of the whole town, we find out who's still pretending their shoes are dry. The Harbour Lights Parade is Gulls Hook's biggest event of the year. Happens every November, the weekend before Thanksgiving. Boats in the harbour light up, floats parade down Main Street, the whole town shows up. It's tradition, community, the kind of thing that used to mean something before it became a backdrop for influencer content. Brooke announces on Instagram that she's planning a Keys to the Future event during the parade, a public photo op, reclaiming her narrative. Despite everything, Dylan and I believe in forgiveness, in moving forward, in honoring family. This weekend, we're hosting a special ceremony at the Harbour Lights Parade, a celebration of legacy, of love, of letting go of the past and embracing the future. Everyone's invited. She doesn't mention me, doesn't have to. Everyone knows this is her count to move. Fine. I've got my own plan. I call Red. You still have contacts at the Civic Centre? Yeah. Can you arrange for a demonstration? Something public. What kind? Safety demo, boxing ring, self-defense for seniors, pre-approved community event. Red laughs. You're going to fight him. I'm going to give him the option. I'll make the calls. 2 days later, it's approved. Red's security company sponsors it. Senior safety and self-defense demonstration. Sanctioned, insured, legal, scheduled for 6 p.m. on the pier stage during the parade. Perfect timing. Right when Brooke's planning her ceremony. Dottie calls. "You're really doing this?" "I'm really doing this. It's going to be a circus." "Good, let them watch." The parade starts at 5 p.m. Main Street's packed, floats roll by, marching bands play, kids wave glow sticks. The harbor's full of boats lit up like Christmas, reflections shimmering on black water. Temperatures dropping, wind off the bay cuts cold, but no one cares. This is Gull's Hook. We're used to cold. Brooke's set up near the main stage. She's got a table with a white cloth, a bowl of keys, same one from the wedding, and a professional photographer. Dylan's beside her, hands in his pockets, trying to look casual. Leah's not there. Gabe's with Marta, standing back from the crowd. At 6 p.m., Red's security team sets up the boxing ring on the pier stage. It's small, regulation-sized, ropes and posts and canvas. A banner. Senior Safety and Self-Defense Demonstration, sponsored by Malloy Security. I walk up to the stage. People notice. Conversations stop. Phones come out. I'm wearing my old boxing shorts, faded blue, too big now, and a t-shirt from the gym where I used to train. Red's beside me, wearing a referee shirt. I take the mic. "Good evening, Gull's Hook. My name's Evan Harlow. Some of you know me. Some of you think you know me from social media. That's fine. Tonight I want to talk about something important. Self-defense, especially for older people. People who get told they're too old, too weak, too fragile to stand up for themselves. People who get pushed into decisions they don't want. People who get told to hand over their keys, their homes, their lives, because someone else decided it's for their own good. The crowd's listening. 200 people. Maybe more. I pull out my phone, put it on speaker, call Gabe. "Gabe, you there, buddy?" "Yeah, Grandpa." "Tell everyone what you told me, about Operation Anchor." His voice is small but clear over the speakers. "Mum was planning to move you and Grandma out of your homes. She said it was for stability, but she didn't ask. She just decided." Murmurs ripple through the crowd. "Thank you, Gabe. You did the right thing." I hang up, pull out documents, hold them up. This is a forged lease transfer, my signature. Except it's not my signature. Someone traced it, notarized it, tried to use it to steal my apartment. I hold up another document. This is the VFV contract addendum, signed by Brooke Ashby, authorizing a ceremony where she'd demand my keys in front of 200 people. Another document. This is the condo board minutes, where my daughter Leah proposed intergenerational housing solutions, a fancy way of saying kick old people out. The crowd's silent now, phones everywhere, someone's live streaming. I'm not here for sympathy, I'm here for truth. My kids tried to steal my home. They forged documents. They planned a public humiliation. They thought I'd fold. That I'd hand over my keys because I'm old and tired and easy to push around. I set the documents down. They were wrong. Brooke storms the stage. "This is insane. This is truth." Dylan's behind her. "Dad, stop. Tell them the truth, Dylan. Tell them you knew about the forged signature." "I didn't. You're in the group chat. Operation Anchor. Red's got screenshots." Red holds up his phone. Shows the group chat to the crowd. Projected on a screen behind the stage. Everyone sees it. Leah's messages. Dylan's messages. Brooke's messages. All of it. The crowd explodes, gasps, shouts, people taking pictures of the screen. Brooke's face goes white. "You hacked my phone." Leah sent it to me, her confession. She recorded it 3 days ago. I play the video. Leah's confession. Her voice shaking, admitting everything. The crowd's in chaos now. Vendors who Brooke screwed are shouting from the audience. She owes me money. She lied about charity partnerships. She's a fraud. Brooke tries to grab the mic. Red blocks her. Dylan tries to push past. Red holds him back. No violence. Just firm, controlled holds. Pastor Emery climbs on stage. Everyone, please, this is not the time. This is exactly the time, I say. The truth doesn't wait for convenient moments. I turn to Dylan. You want to settle this? Fine. 3-minute exhibition round. Sanctioned. Pre-cleared. No headshots. Just body taps. You and me. The crowd goes wild. Half cheering. Half horrified. Dylan looks at Brooke. She's shaking her head. But he can't back down now. Not in front of everyone. Fine. Red refs. We put on gloves. 16-ounce. Sparring gloves. Safe. Legal. The bell rings. Dylan comes at me hard, throwing punches like he's trying to prove something. I slip them, bad knees screaming, but adrenaline drowns it out. I tap his ribs. Clean. Controlled. He swings wild. I clinch. Tie him up. Let him tire himself out. 2 minutes in, he's gasping. I'm barely winded. 30 years of conditioning doesn't just vanish. I tap his body again. Left side, right side. He doubles over. The bell rings. 3 minutes. It's over. Dylan's bent over, hands on his knees, breathing hard. Not injured, just beaten. Totally, completely beaten. I take off my gloves, walk to the edge of the ring, look at Leah in the crowd. You don't get prison. You get to live here, looking me in the eye every day, knowing what you did. I drop the mic, literally. It hits the canvas with a thud. The crowd erupts, some cheering, some booing. Doesn't matter. They all saw it. Harbour horns start blaring. Fireworks explode overhead. The parade's climax. Red, white, and blue bursting over black water. I climb out of the ring. Marta's waiting. Gabe's beside her. Did I do good, Grandpa? You did perfect, kid. We walk away from the stage. Away from the chaos, away from Brooke's ruined ceremony and Dylan's humiliation and Leah's tears. Behind us, the fireworks keep going. The crowd keeps roaring. The town keeps watching. But we're done. We won. Not with money, not with lawyers, not with violence, with truth, with receipts, with consequences. Sometimes that's all you need.